What is good, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Purple Political Breakdown. How's it going? How's your day been? We got another political quiz because this is a 2024 version. So very interested to see how everything kind of corresponds. And I'm curious to see how this differs from my other political quiz I took in 2021. For 2021. So this is, let's dive right into it. Should the government regulate artificial intelligence to ensure ethical use? Should it regulate it? Yes. Yes. How important is this to you? Somewhat important. Somewhat. Should the government mandate that large tech companies share their algorithms with regulators? With regulators. Yes. I'm going to say somewhat again. Yeah. Should citizens be allowed to secure their money in self-hosted digital wallets that the government can monitor but not control? Monitor but not control. Other stances. Let me see this. Oh, what are the other stances for this? This was no longer should be removed. Okay, never mind. Yes, and also allowed to use a privacy layer that prevents monitoring of funds in transition. No, and banned. I'm gonna say this, like digital wallets. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say less though, but this is my opinion as of right now. Should the government increase environmental regulation to prevent climate change? What are others say? Yes, and provide more incentives for alternating energy production. Increase environmental to prevent climate change. I'm gonna say yeah for now. I'm more on the less side, but I think climate change is important. Should the U.S. withdraw from the Paris Climate Agreement? I need to learn more about this. President announced that the U.S. will withdraw from the Paris Climate Accord in an effort to boost the nation's industry and energy independence. Mr. Trump argued that the climate accord was unfair to the U.S. since the agreement imposed easier restrictions on China and India, who lead the world in carbon emissions. Opponents of the climate agreement argue that it unfairly penalizes U.S. energy companies and consumers by imposing restrictions on domestic energy production. Proponents of the climate accord argue that exiting it set back decades of diplomatic efforts by the U.S. government to reduce worldwide carbon emissions. Oh, it's taking me to a different site. Hold on. Yeah, I'm not gonna be swayed by someone else's opinion. This is yes, and same standard. Yeah, I'm probably with that. I'll probably put it less though. Should drilling be allowed in the Alaska wildlife refuge? I'm gonna say no. No need to drill there. I'm gonna say less though. Climate change is definitely not on my priority list in terms of things I care about. Should the U.S. conduct military strikes against North Korea and destroy their long-range missiles and nuclear weapons capability? No, we should not conduct long straight. No. I'm going to say no, this one, and somewhat. Should the government increase or decrease military? Increase or I would say neither. I'm satisfied with the current amount of spending. And that's my choice. Should the U.S. Yes, for sure. Most. We should never leave the United Nations. What are we doing? Should the president be able to authorize military force against Al Qaeda without congressional approval? Al Qaeda. So you're not. It's not technically war. It is a. It's not war necessarily. It's not war necessary. I'm unsure. I don't know. I'm gonna say no. I feel like it depends. I'm gonna say it depends on the threat of Al Qaeda. That is my stance. Should the U.S. assassinate suspected terrorists in foreign countries? Yeah, that's what I'll go with. Should the president mobilize the U.S. military against Mexican drug cartels? I'm going to say this one. I don't know how I feel about us going to Mexico. Should it be required to vote? I feel like there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, I'm gonna say yes. Should foreigners currently reside in the United States have the right to vote? If they're a citizen, yeah. Yes, anyone who pays should have the right to vote. Yes, but they should not be allowed to vote in local election. Um, yes, but only after living. Um, very simple. If they are a citizen of the United States, they can vote. Simple as that for me. I'm not gonna lie. Should the Electoral College be abolished? No. I think it could be updated. Oh, here. I like this one more. Should be updated based on the population should be updated. Should the federal increase in funding of healthcare for low income? I would say yes. I think it's a good thing. Should the government require employees of large business to be vaccinated from COVID? Require employees of large business to be required? No, not now. We're like past the pandemic period. No. I'm gonna say no. Do you support the Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act? Is a federal statute signed into law in 2010 that introduced a sweeping overhaul of the nation's healthcare system. The act grants the federal government significant regulatory powers and price controls over U.S. medical services providers and insurance companies. The act's landmark provision included an insurance mandate which prohibited insurers from denying coverage to individuals due to pre-existing conditions and insurance requirements for individual children who did not have coverage via their families. The act also required states to set up and maintain health insurance exchanges where individuals, families, and small businesses can purchase private insurance plans. Individuals were made. I'm going to say yes. I like it. Should the government implement rent control policies to limit the amount of landlords can charge for rent? Probably not. I feel like that's overstepping your boundary as a government. Maybe the state government, maybe. I'll probably, because it doesn't specify. So maybe the state government potentially, but the federal government, I would say no, but maybe the state government. So I'll probably choose maybe the state government. Should homeless individuals that have refused available shelter or housing be allowed to sleep or encamp on public property? No. Should new housing developments be required to include green spaces and park? What are green spaces? And areas to enhance physical environment. Proponents argue that it enhances community well-being and environmental quality. It required? No. It shouldn't be required. Should the U.S. build a wall along the south border? Maybe. I'm not against a wall. I'll say I would say more so that we don't need like a physical wall, but we need like a proper barrier. Should illegal immigrants have access to government subsidized health care? I mean, if they're kids, maybe. If they're kids, yes, but they for like or infectious disease, no, but their children should have. I would say that, yeah. Should undocumented immigrants be offered an in-state tuition rates at public colleges within their residing state? Oh, that's so tough. I don't know. As long as they pay taxes. I'm going to say as long as they pay taxes. Okay. Should funding for local police departments be redirected to social and community-based programs? No, but I would say increase funding and training. Yeah. Should police department be allowed to use military-grade equipment? Depends. I'm not mad at this one. Higher extreme situations should be handled by higher agency with specialized training equipment. I'm going to say yes, but only in response to extreme situations. Should convicted criminals have the right to vote? I've thought about that. Because obviously if you're a criminal, you lose your right to vote. I'm going to say yes, except for violent ones. Should the military upgrade Air Force One? What do you mean? Military, sure. Should there be more restrictions on the current process of purchasing a gun? More restrictions? Depends. I'm all for training. Trust me. I'm all for training. Should teacher be allowed to? No. Fuck no. No hire professional. Yes. This one. Train security guards. There's no fucking reason a teacher should be carrying a gun in school. Should the government increase spending on public transportation? Yes, for sure. Should the government impose stricter fuel efficient standards on vehicles? No. Should the government provide subsidies for the development of high-speed rail networks? Sure. What are some other? I'm gonna say yes. Let me look up what subsidies mean, because I think I'm actually unsure. Define subsidies. A sum of money granted by the government. That's what I thought. Yes. Do you support increasing taxes for the rich in order to reduce interest rates for student loans? Increase taxes. You know what? Fuck it. Yes. Should the federal government pay for tuition at maybe. No. Critical race theory should not be taught in schools. No, but should the government pay for tuition? Okay. Should people under the age of 18 years old be able to receive gender transition treatments? No. Should the government continue to fund Planned Parenthood? A state government, maybe. Yes. Should the health insurance providers be required to offer free birth control? Yeah, I'm gonna say it like any other prescription. Should the government require children to be vaccinated for preventable diseases? Require? I mean, I feel like you're required to get like. Are you required to get chickenpox vaccine? Should not be just required. Hard to say. That's where I'm at state level. Do you support the use of nuclear energy? Yes. Should the government allow the commercialization of lab-grown meat? Sure. I don't have anything against it. Should the technology of our financial system transition to a decentralized protocol that is not owned or controlled by any corporation similar to the internet? No, not until we get more. No. Yes, but only if it's decentralized and cannot be manipulated by any person, group, or group. I'll be fine with it, but I can't guarantee it. But I'm gonna put that in there. Should the U.S. raise taxes? Hell yeah. Should the government raise the federal minimum wage? Yes. Which political party do you most identify with? Independent. Me. I'm me. There's so many parties, but only 2 of them matter. Crazy. How would you rate your current U.S. president's clarity and openness in their public communications? Below average. In the 2024, which one would you vote for? Doesn't matter. Which qualities are most with a unit candidate? Leadership, honesty, integrity, common sense, intelligence, diplomacy, transparency, consistency. Basically everything here. Bro, I can keep on going, man. Resilience, accountability, military experience, not charisma, is not government experience, courage, not necessarily compassion, health, toughness, humility, patience, creativity, emotion. Yeah, not important. Yeah. Show my results. That was a long quiz, man. All right, let's see what my results will say about me as an individual. Put your guesses in the comment section right now. No thanks. All right. Here are the political party ranked from the most to least similar to your beliefs. No labels. Told you I am unique. Is this a party? Is it no labels? What is no labels? You saw on 8%. No labels party. Shout out the no labels party. No labels. Veterans, Democratic, Forward, Patriotic Party, Transhumanist Party. Okay, interesting. So I'm most in line with the following shows the percent issues you saw with the candidates running in the 2024. RFK Jr. is my number 1. Biden is my number 3. So mostly an independent, Democrat, Hillary, Donald Trump. Disgusting. U.S. Senate. Okay. Some governors. All right. RFK Jr. Man. My only issue with RFK Jr. is the whole vaccine stuff. Ideologies. I'm a social conservative. You moderately believe in preserving traditional institutions to maintain a stable. Believe a 61% right-wing populist. Social liberal. Yeah, I mean, it's very interesting, man. I'm all over the place. That's why, at the end of the day, I ride the middle. I am who I am. I don't let colors determine who I am besides purple. And I don't let signs decide who I am. Very interesting quiz. I recommend y'all taking it. And I think this just means RFK Jr. for 2024 president. So we here. With that said, hope you guys enjoyed. Y'all have a good one. Take care and peace.